Next question is from More Life. Is there a certain number of pull-ups or chin-ups you consider to be a good marker of strength?
I think if a guy can do 15, 10 to 15, I was going to say 15, but 10 to 15, you're strong. And for a woman, around 5 pull-ups, you're doing pretty well. Now, here's a problem with giving these general answers, is that there's a lot of factors that can come into play here. If you're a bigger person, it's going to be much harder. If I'm talking about a 240-pound athlete, male, 15 pull-ups, wow, that's a lot of pull-ups to be that heavy. If you're a 150-pound guy, 15 pull-ups might not be that much at all. But I think generally speaking, if you're a guy, 10 to 15 is a good number to aim for, and for a woman, about 5.
Yeah, this is such a hard one to answer because I think of somebody like, what's his name with Kabuki Strength? I forget his name all the time. What's his name?
Chris Duffin.
Chris Duffin, thank you. Watching that dude do pull-ups is so impressive to me because he's what is he, like 270 pounds or something?
Yeah, he does everything.
Or Robert Oberst. Remember when he did that?
Yeah, or Robert Oberst. That is, and then you have someone like David Goggins who can do like 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm less impressed. You know what I'm saying? He's like a paperweight. You have two difference between those two people doing pull-ups is completely different. So it's hard to gauge what's a good number for the general population. I mean, the 5 and 10 thing, kind of, but I mean that completely changes based off that person's body weight.
Of course, and if you're a woman and you can't do not one pull up, and then you get to the point where you can do 2, that's phenomenal. It's progress. Progress is what's most important. What's the most amount of pull-ups you guys have ever done, by the way?
25.
25 for you?
20,
yeah. Me too. 25 is the most I ever did.
And that was focused too. Like
you were trying to get that
so I did this thing where I would do 50. I'd do 50 pull-ups to start every back workout. That was the thing because I wanted to get to a place where I could rep 50.
So you do however many sets it took.
Yes.
That's the old Arnold workout. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Arnold did that.
Yeah, I don't remember where I got it, but that was like the thing was every back workout, start with pull-ups, you get 50, and I was trying to get 50 as fast as I could get 50. So I'd jump up, first set I'd get, maybe 12, 15, and then drop down, then do again to 10, then to 8, and then keep doing it like that till I got to the 50. And over time, I got to a place where I could rep out about 25 of them. And that was good body weight. But that's something I noticed too is like where my body weight, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
This brings up, it's an interesting thing because of like standardization. I've seen too within, I think it was like a sheriff's department. They were giving them grief about like lessening, like not even having this like standardized test that they had to pass in order to become a sheriff, and they wanted to keep it because it's like you want somebody that's like able-bodied and capable and strong and can perform the job at the highest ability, but it was severely limiting the amount of applicants that were applying, and so the sheriff in charge was like complaining about that they wanted to eliminate the test completely just because they have such low numbers of people wanting to take on the job.
Wow. See, for that, I have a different opinion on that. Like for something like that makes sense to have this standard that you should have to be able to
either do the job or you can't.
Exactly, because that general population, and we're talking about like a client who just wants to be strong and is trying to say, I heard on Mind Pump, if I can't do 10 pull-ups, I'm not very strong. No, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't matter, and like it doesn't. And if it doesn't apply to your job every day, then who gives a shit? You could potentially deadlift. I know plenty of people that can deadlift 500 pounds but can't even do 10 pull-ups.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that person weak? No, they're not weak.
No.
They don't do pull-ups. You know what I'm saying? They don't strength train that way. They haven't tried to lean their body out. So like, if your job requires it, though, I think it makes sense. If you're a firefighter or cop, you have to climb a wall, you have to do something like that.
Right.
Yeah, you should probably be able to pull your body weight up.
do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of standards, you guys remember, it was a while ago where I brought up that article where I think it was a military, remember what branch was going to change their standard for throwing a grenade distance? Because people were not able to throw a grenade at the standard distance or whatever.
I thought that had something to do with like the women's, the women couldn't throw it as far as the men could throw it.
Well,
so they were trying to lower the standards
for
everybody.
But it was something like they had to lower it because so many people couldn't, all of a sudden it was this old standard, people just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of...
It was like across the board. It was like
that's another example of like, that should stay there.
Yeah.
You should have to be able to throw a grenade far enough to not blow your friends up. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be here with us. I don't care what...
I mean, it's pretty logical.
Yeah, I think it's very logical. I don't care what sex you are. You need to be able to fucking throw this thing far enough so we don't die.
Just like toss it on the ground in front of you. Oh shit!
Oh,
most impressive. Paul Check impressed the shit out of me with his pull-up. Remember when he came here? He's like 50-something-year-old guy, and he's not like small. He's a muscular dude. He's a one-arm pull-ups out there.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me.
He's a beast.
Yeah.